Well, hello,
Hey.
everyone. How are you doing? Hey, Chris, how are
Uh,
you?
I'm doing good. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me okay?
I can. Awesome.
Are you there?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay,
Um,
perfect.
Okay.
Well, tonight we have one of your good friends. Why don't you
Yeah.
go ahead and share a bit about him?
Yeah. So his name is Chris Julian. He is, like I say, he's a very good friend of mine. He's also a team member of 207 Paranormal, a team that I'm a part of as well. He is a Bigfoot enthusiast. He's a paranormal investigator, all around, just really. I'm so happy to call him my friend. I love this guy. He's a cool dude. We've had a lot of cool experiences together, which I hope we can dig into tonight. He also is a creator of the main book of secrets, which can be found on Facebook, which is a cool group. So if you're not a part of it, sign up. But yeah, I'm super excited to just pick his brain and get to talk to him tonight, and for all of you guys to check him out as well.
That's awesome. Well, let's go ahead and bring him on up.
Let's do it. What's
Hi,
going on?
Chris.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great actually.
Well, thank you so much for being willing to come on the show and share some of your experiences. Chris, do you want to start out?
I can't. I'm just gonna pop in and out real quick because Chris, I can't hear you. Unfortunately,
No.
just
Okay.
give me 1 second. It's a iPhone thing. My iPhone sucks, and so does iPhone. So if anyone uses an iPhone, they suck. 1 second. I'll be right
Yeah.
back. Right back. Fuck. Oh,
All right. Well, in the meantime, maybe I can start out with a question.
Okay.
So one of the things I'm really excited about is your your experiences with Sasquatch and your knowledge. So one of the first questions that I have is, have you ever had, actually, do you think the phenomenon reveals itself, or do you think certain people unconsciously tune into Sasquatch himself or herself?
No, I very much believe it's a flesh and blood creature. It's very much just like we are. Probably more like we are than people are going to be comfortable with. But um, yeah, no, I don't think it does that drawing thing. There are some people that have experienced stuff like that. I personally have not, so I don't
Mhm.
buy into that theory. Um, but again, that's just my opinion. I haven't had that type of experience. I've had experiences, but they were with very real beings. So,
I can hear you now, so we're good.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. All right.
Oh,
Chris, go ahead.
So, Chris, you and I have talked about this at length with the whole Bigfoot thing, right?
yeah,
And you were telling me one time that you were like, when people go out in the woods and they think that, oh, we're gonna catch it or we're gonna find it, like they already know we're there.
yeah,
You know
oh,
what I
no
mean?
doubt.
Like they know before we know. You know what I mean? And I'd like to like what was it that got your interest in it all to begin with? Like, was it that you had an experience? Was it that you watched, Harry and the Hendersons when you were a kid? Like, which is a great
Hey,
movie, I think. Yeah.
yeah,
But
no,
like what
absolutely. I
really
got
piqued your interest?
Oh yeah, I that was great for the study. Like it's still a great
Yeah.
movie though. I love it. It got a
Oh man,
lot
I
of
really did.
attention. Uh, it was kind of quirky and goofy, but it had to be you know,
Yeah. Yep.
sometimes reality is not as pretty. But
Right. Yeah. Do you think that like the fact that they portrayed it as a physical flesh and blood being was more accurate to what your kind of beliefs are?
oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't in the movie. I don't think they got into the origin thing, so I really don't
Oh yeah.
know. And Uh, again, that's just my opinion.
Of course. Yeah.
Everyone has
Totally.
opinions,
Yep.
and I have lots.
Have you seen the study where they actually shipped off? I think it was hair samples from all these different places, and they traced it back on the maternal side to like 15,000 years ago, I believe, in Europe. Like,
Yeah.
do you know? Have you heard of that? Like, but they couldn't. I think it was they either needed saliva or blood to figure out the paternal side. And I think they actually tried, and they couldn't find anything that matches. You know what I mean? Like, what do you think about
Yeah.
that? Have you heard that before?
I have not. I have
Okay.
not. It's not much. I mean, I'm far from an expert on that. I try to stay away from theories that I don't have any clue about.
No, that's true.
You
Yeah, I
know,
get it. Yeah,
uh,
I get it. Yeah.
I have opinions. Again, some of them, you know, you know me. Sometimes my opinions are harsh, so I kind of keep them close until they need to come out, I guess.
No, I understand. I get it.
Awesome. So my next question for you is I personally I believe that there is a possibility for many types of beings, many people or many beings that even do manifest onto this physical plane. But when it comes to Sasquatch, what was your first experience that really made you believe that it was real? Because I'm more new to this side of things.
Yeah. Honestly, my first time for years, I never talked about it. I've been interviewed a bunch of times, and I've always said that I never had like a firsthand experience. Well, I kind of did. I think I told Chris this story,
Oh yeah.
um, but I was never honest about it. I had something happen. It was in like 1989, but it happened in a. I was a teenager, and uh, I was parking with my girlfriend is the best description in the world gives. So I never felt comfortable giving out any of that story because it, of what we were doing. I don't know. I was always kind of embarrassed, but looking back, it's a great story. Without too many details. She kept seeing a face look down into the side window of the vehicle. So we stopped whatever activities we were doing. And like by the second or third time, I was getting pissed. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I'm a teenage guy raging, so I was getting mad. Uh, and finally, I kind of whipped up and we turned some lights on. And as I looked up, I see this big, furry something walking away, like no question. And the person I was with at the time uh, was horrified because she had seen the face clearly, and she described it to me, and I was like, "Holy shit, man! I don't want to be here." And I didn't think Bigfoot. I didn't think any Sasquatch things. Well, I had already had some sort of interest. I didn't think this fit what that was at that point. At that point, I was still thinking we're looking for a monkey,
Oh
and
geez, yeah.
this was way too manly. Like while I didn't see a clear face, I saw the silhouette. It just craziness. So yeah, that was my first and biggest. And there's a lot more to that story that I'm just never gonna share. Well, again, I think I have with
Yeah.
uh,
That's all right.
but yeah, that very much sealed that there was something. It took me some time to even realize that it was, or even consider that it was a Sasquatch encounter. I don't know that part. As much as I always wanted to believe, I don't. I always had a doubt.
Hmm.
Well, because up to that point, my only real experience had been through the movies.
Right.
Uh, and the first one I saw was like when I was like 7 years old. My dad took me to one,
Mm.
and it horrified me, uh, but it intrigued me. And
Yeah.
then years go by, and that happens, and that just kind of cemented it. And a few times through the years, I've had other encounters. I haven't had a lot, but I feel like I've had some quality encounters. I've probably had more than I'll admit to, only because I'm kind of the biggest skeptic I know. Uh, and I poo-poo a lot of my own stuff sometimes. So I don't just do it to people that contact me. So they get a little
Yeah.
sour at me sometimes, but after a while, there's things to look for, and if I don't see them, I
Yeah.
you know there's too much real stuff going on that I don't have time for stuff I don't think's happening. So,
Well, I mean, you got to keep a level head on a lot of this stuff too, I would imagine,
100%,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I've totally avoided people and still continue to this day because they have wild ass theories and just, I mean, I've argued with them about shadows and, I've been out in the woods and they're like, there's a Sasquatch looking at us. And like, dude, it's a shadow. Like,
Right.
and there are people that are so jumpy like that. And sometimes they're great. They're great entertaining posts, you know, uh, great stories, but usually they're just that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, keeps the conversation flowing anyway, right?
Always does. Always
Right.
does. Most people have had some sort of weird encounter, whether it's Sasquatch or not. I mean, there's
Mhm.
plenty of other weird things that happen in the state of Maine, as you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I find that Maine is like, I don't know, it's kind of like all encompassing as far as like the weird factor sometimes. Like you go to some of those northern Maine places, you hear people talk about a lot of extraterrestrial stuff or Bigfoot stuff, cryptid stuff, or you get to
Yeah.
like some of the coastal towns, you see a lot of paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
Which I definitely want to get into with the paranormal stuff because as a member of 207 Paranormal, we are at Fort Knox quite a bit. You especially.
Yeah.
And so you joined the team in 2019, is that correct?
Yeah. 2018, 29.
2018 or
I don't
19, yeah.
remember really.
And did they like how did you become like I don't even know if I've asked
I,
you this before. Like how did you become a member
yeah.
of 207?
I got involved with the fort through Fright at the Fort, which was
Oh yeah.
the big haunted house. It was the fundraiser for the fort. And through that, I met Amanda and
Hmm.
a few other people. And we became friends. I didn't even realize they were who they were. And nor did I
Oh,
have any
shit.
interest. I didn't hang out at Fort Knox at that time for the ghosts. I wasn't even
Okay.
100% convinced that that place was haunted, man. I had never seen anything there. So it's not
No,
haunted,
yeah.
you
Right.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, honestly, before I was even asked to join the team, I experienced something that made me believe otherwise in a hurry. Like I was down in the food storage underground.
Hmm.
Uh, During the middle of the day, I was doing something for Fright, and you have to kneel down. I'm just the right height where you can't stand up, so you have to kind of stoop over. And while I was doing that, I felt a hand squarely land on my back, like somebody was standing behind me, like
Oof.
and people would do that. So I turned around fully expecting somebody to be there, and nobody was there. And I immediately got like the worst chills ever. Like
Yeah.
it totally creeped me out. So
Oh yeah.
then eventually Amanda asked if I would join
Yeah.
or I would be interested in it. And I was like, absolutely. And
Yeah.
you ever since it's been, I don't know, it gets in your blood. You know that.
Oh man, like that fort literally like it is calls to you. I don't know, it's the weirdest thing. I remember being like called to it and being like, because I remember asking you, be like, hey, you guys don't need like a medium for your team or anything, right? Just like,
Yes,
um,
please.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it was just like, but yeah, it was just something was pulling me so hard. And again, I've asked all the other members of the team as well, like, did that happen to you also? And they all agree
Yeah,
that like
I
it's,
believe.
yeah,
I believe that
yeah,
very much. The fort picks who the fort wants.
yeah. You've said that to me
You
before, and
know,
I agree with you, man.
as crazy as that sounds, it's kind of real. You
Yeah.
felt it, so I don't have to sell it to you. As a matter of fact, I don't sell it to anybody. Like
No, no.
we can show these people. They just
Mhm.
have to give us an opportunity. And we can give you a lot of these same experiences, you know.
Yep.
I don't know, man. It's a weird place. It's definitely haunted. Just because there was
Oh
never a
man, yeah.
battle there, still ghosts.
It kills me when people say that.
Yeah, isn't it? But there was never battle. So you know what? That's not how you make a ghost. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Doesn't have to be big fights and battles and all this other
no,
stuff. But
no. One of our most active ghosts blew himself up. I mean, geez,
yeah, and he,
it's it's
Speaking of that, what is one of the experiences that your team collectively together has had that is is on Fort Knox that y'all, or like, if the energy of like, this is absolute proof, if there is any, that this actually exists in this location type of experience. Does that make sense?
yeah. Uh, I know personally. I've had those experience. Chris and I actually had one of the coolest experiences, which, if I had any questions before that, would have eliminated every single one. When we
yeah,
were down in one of the batteries one night
hmm
or one afternoon before one of our public hunts, and we had just taken a minute to kind of step away. We're both standing there. We're both watching someone's head look around the corner at the end of a hallway.
yeah.
Wow.
And
And we both
then
saw it too.
oh, 100%. And then it kind of came down this hallway in like a weird three. It was weird. I can't even, it wasn't walking completely. It just was all of a sudden in front of us. It was a
Yeah.
presence.
Yep.
Very creepy.
Yeah.
And that, if we could sell that experience
Right.
continuously, like, it's amazing because we not only saw it, we felt it. Yeah, it was crazy.
And I remember looking down and like, because like you and I were just talking, just yeah, and it had nothing to
Yeah,
do with paranormal. We were just shooting the shit, just catching up before the event.
yeah,
And like, I think I'm not sure which one of us caught it or whatever, but I think one of us saw it poke its head out and we're like, "Who the fuck is down there? Like, is
yeah,
there did somebody at the event like sneak off or whatever?" And then I think we like called out to it, and then yeah, like I said, it came down the hall in some weird fashion, and then it was like it stopped right in front of us. And then I remember, I think it was like you or I walked over and I was like right here. And I remember it was cold, like
yeah,
cold. And we do
yep,
those events in like the summer most, I mean,
yeah,
late spring, early summer into fall and stuff. And this was like a
yep,
hot day, I remember, and it was cold, like
yeah.
cold. And I was like, what the fuck? And like
It's a
some of the,
different cold anyway. Like
yeah,
I
yeah,
think
definitely
so.
different. Yeah. Some of the
Yeah,
bowels of the fort can get pretty cold, but that was different, like you said. I
yeah,
mean,
for sure. But yeah, when you're having an experience like an up close and personal, I have, it's always felt very different to me. I don't know. You feel a numbness, or I do. I mean, I'm weird. We all know that, but I mean, uh, I feel it, and that place is loaded. There's so much going on there. So many levels. You
have
never
you ever
get
had?
bored.
Oh, sorry. Have you ever had an
No.
experience at the fort where you were just like, "Yep, I'm out, I'm gone,
Yep.
like I'm done."
Yep. 100%. Uh, well, I'm pretty proud of my record of never running out of the fort.
Right?
I have walked with purpose.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, I like that.
This There was one night, Paul and Sarah and I were uh, in the officers' quarters, and I was taking pictures, which I do often.
Mhm.
Uh, and whatever we were playing with that night did not like the camera. Like, was it? I can't remember what device we had, but it kept telling it to stop
Oh, okay.
pictures, stop. I mean, every combination of which, and I did not.
Oh, yeah.
I kept clicking. Well, after a few minutes of that, something grabbed my thigh on my leg, and it was like the coldest.
Oof.
I don't even know if I don't know what it's like to touch or be touched, I guess, by a dead person, but that was the most different, cold, icky feeling I'd ever felt. Uh,
Yeah.
and I promptly started picking my camera gear up. Paul asked where I was going, and I was like, "I'm done, dude. That's it.
Yeah.
Tonight is over." Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what that was, but I don't want to play with that anymore. And
Yeah.
I think we have since. Uh, I
Yeah.
haven't had such an up close and personal with it, but I think, yeah, it's yeah, yeah, that was close to making me want to exit in a hurry.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything innately dark or anything like that at the fort, but
Yeah,
there is definitely certain presences and certain things that happen where it's like, yeah, I mean, it's pretty off-putting. It's like, okay, all right, I get it. I hear you loud and clear. I know you're here. Like, it's very
it's like
strange.
it's the same way as with the living. Some people just
Sure.
exude negativity, and
Right.
spirits are very much the same. And some people are way more in tune to that.
Mhm.
And the fort's just one of those places, man. If you have any type of abilities, holy cow, there's a great way to test it.
Yeah, no joke.
But be
It's
ready.
yeah. Be careful what you wished for in that place, right? Oh my God.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So what about the main book of secrets? I'd love for you to tell people who are just meeting you for the first time what sparked that, and what is your goal with all that?
Honestly, the whole reason I started that was just to ultimately to collect Sasquatch sightings or information, or
Okay.
anything weird. We live in a state that is I don't know that there's so many different weird things that happen. Like every day of the week, it's a new possibility. Like I have files of things that we haven't even touched yet because there's only so much time, and to
Yeah.
give something the full respect it deserves.
Right.
And the fort takes up a lot of our summertime. But yeah, and then we have a couple other areas like the Rock there up north.
Oh.
So,
Oh man. Yeah. I really want to
yeah,
get back out there this summer. That was cool.
100%. It's better now. I mean, it won't be as cold, but now we'll deal with the bugs. But I still think it'll be worth it.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Craziest place ever.
Yeah, no joke.
Yeah.
Um, when it comes to Sasquatch, what physical evidence do you personally consider strongest outside of physically seeing them? Like if you go into an environment and someone says, "Oh, Sasquatch was here," or "Bigfoot was here," what are those things that you look for to show that there's been an actual sighting of that, or like from those
Mostly
beings?
tracks. I mean, that would be what I would initially look for. That's what would get my attention. Uh, Different it's like any animal, though. You look for, although, and
Hmm.
I don't even believe that we're dealing with an animal, but you can track a human. It's the same thing. You just look for disruptions. And once you know what you're looking for, it's not easy per se, but you can pick it up pretty easy. And I get it. People send me a lot of pictures like, "Hey, did you see this print I caught?" And
Yep.
I wish I could say everyone's it, but most of the ones I see, I can explain. And boy, don't
Sure.
people get sour when you explain that it's not what they think it is. I think everyone expects me to be like, "Oh, it's definitely Sasquatch. It's 100% ghost. It's haunted." I'm not that guy. If I don't, if I don't think it is, I'm not going to bullshit you.
Well, honestly, that's one of the things I respect about you, Chris, is because like you don't bullshit, and you are like, if the wind blows a certain way, you're not like, oh my God, like that was a ghost, or like that was whatever. Like you methodically and logically look at it for what it is, which is cool.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
because you have to,
Yeah,
people, a lot of people will dramatize what we do, and they get great reactions. People love bullshit and shiny things, but these people are making shit up, or they're kind of just, I don't know, they're faking their experiences. So when people have a real experience, like, as well as I do, people come to the fort and they expect it to be like ghost hunters, or
sure,
ghost
yeah,
adventures, or
right.
no one's gonna scream and run out of the, well, come close, I guess, but
Yeah,
uh
yeah, right. They may walk with purpose.
you know, yeah, we've had a few people just leave flat out, like, be
Yeah,
done,
yeah,
and I
yep.
respect that. When
Um,
it's time to go.
yeah, there was a guy. Geez, I think this was long before I joined, but he actually got really emotional. Right, he almost like froze. Do you know what I'm talking about? I can't remember the name or anything, but I think it was in Mike's room. I had never. I think Amanda was telling me about this. He had never had an experience before. It was kind of like a naysayer, and I think something touched him, and he was just like, "What the fuck?" Like
Yeah,
couldn't
that's
couldn't fathom it. Right?
it's a life-changing experience when you really think about it. I mean, and some people go through their whole life thinking that all this stuff is made up,
Oh yeah,
ghosts
yeah.
are bullshit, go Bigfoot, all this stuff. And uh, but that's what happens when people tell bullshit stories too,
Well, right, yeah,
you know.
yeah,
Uh, but there's real stuff that's happening, every day.
yep. And so back to kind of Raven was talking about
Yeah,
the the evidence about Bigfoot and stuff. And you were talking about the
yeah,
tracks.
yeah, yeah.
I'd love to know what separates the kind of like the tracks that can be debunked and the tracks that are like, okay, that now that's a legitimate thing. I've also heard that there's in some of the tracks you can actually see what looks like fingerprints.
Yeah, the dermal ridges.
Thermal ridges. Yeah, yeah. I'd love to hear your opinion on that.
Yeah. Oh, 100. I believe that is, their foot is just like ours, just the dimensions are a little bigger.
Right.
Um, but yeah, there's 100%. Well, I've never gotten one that clear. And that's another thing people see on TV, and you get the perfect print every time. Maine is such a tough place to do a cast. Our forest floor is just so littered with leaves and
All
pine
right.
needles, and
That's true.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not impossible. I've gotten some pretty decent ones, so they're out there. But again, a lot of tracks they just misidentified. You know, a
As
lot
what
of
do you
them
think?
aren't. What's that?
Like, what do you think is causing the ones that are misidentified?
Sometimes it's bare. Like
Okay.
the whole, they step in the same
Oh, I
track.
see.
So sometimes it's like a double. And again, that's on a clear track, you would be able to make it out. But a lot of times people see indentation and what looks like a couple toes, and it's
Oh, I see.
immediately Sasquatch. And it's fine. I get that, because every time I'm out in the woods, if I see one, it immediately gets my attention no matter what. A, because there's a bear in the area.
Oh,
uh,
yeah, yeah. High alert.
B,
Yeah.
it's just, if it's what I want it to be, then I have some work to do. Um, but like I said, they don't, yeah, the dermal ridges, I would love to find one with that much detail, because I think very much like the fingerprint, it's unique. It
Yeah.
is something that would be trackable, or is trackable.
Yeah.
But that's, Jesus, that we got a long way to go before we even consider shit like that, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, but yeah,
Hmm.
those are the little things. Like, there's just little things that, and then there's a lot of things that can't be faked, and I'm not going into any of them,
Right.
because people are pretty goddamn smart, and the next thing you know, I'm dealing with all kinds of fake shit that I don't have time for. um,
Yeah. Right.
but yeah, there's a few things I look for. um,
Hmm.
and I have seen quite a few real, or see, I can't say something's real. It's to me, it's a matter of if it looks like the stuff I've experienced, and
Sure.
it just so happens I've experienced more than the average bear because I have this weird obsession. I don't even know why I do it half the time, but I can't stop.
Yeah, right. Like any good obsession.
Yeah, yeah, right. Well, I've had some worse ones, so this is all right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Actually, speaking on not just on Sasquatch, but cryptids in general,
yeah.
what are some examples of considerations of what you do consider to be a cryptid versus what maybe somebody else may see as a cryptid? Like, for example,
Yeah.
would you consider fairies cryptids? Would you consider, like, you know what I mean, like how there are various different forms of things? I'm just curious about your thoughts on that.
Yeah, no, cryptid's a very that's a very wide swath. There's
Okay. Yeah.
it's just the study of basically the in undiscovered animal, or and that's where it gets funny because kind of people
Mhm.
put ghosts, UFOs, all this shit into they put it in the cryptid bucket, and it doesn't really fit.
Yeah.
Uh, so kind of got to piece by piece through it. Um, I don't see that's the thing with me. For years, like I focused solely on Sasquatch and solely in Maine. Like I
Mhm.
don't really care what's going on in New York per se because I'm not there. Um,
That's fair. Yeah.
I we live in a big state, but you know what? I can be to any spot in it within a few hours. And that's the beauty of what I do. I mean, I know our area and I know it good. I
Yeah.
don't travel around and see little bits of different areas or see everybody else's experience. I have my own experiences in our own area.
Mhm.
There's a lot of stuff going on out there that either people aren't experiencing, which I have a hard time believing.
Mhm.
Because if you spend any time in the Maine woods, you got some weird shit going on. You have a story or two.
Yeah. Right.
Whether you ever want to tell it, that's another thing. Because that's the other way I wanted the Book of Secrets to kind of help was lighten the mood of being able to tell. And you can tell me. You tell me your story, and I'll translate it without your name, without the details.
Right. Yep.
I don't. I'm not about giving. I'm not going to give out too much information. I'm too protective over things anyway.
Right. Is there a demographic, or not a demographic? Like you said that you can kind of experience. You've had experiences all over Maine, right? Do
Yeah,
you find that
pretty
like?
much.
Do you find that there's any sort of Sasquatch sightings or experiences closer to more of the developed areas as opposed to the deeper woods? Like, does it even matter for them? Like,
No,
like in
I
your
don't.
opinion? Yeah.
My opinion on that is there's more sightings in populated areas because there's more people. I
Okay.
don't
Yeah. More
believe they're
eyes. Yeah.
spending any more or less time there. I do think, like any wild animal, wild creature, they are around us. They're around humans. They have no choice. It's the world that they now live in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they either adapt or they go away. Uh,
Yeah, that's fair too. I mean, so it really doesn't matter whether they're in a rural or more urban area. They're there.
no, I
They just have
mean,
to live with what they're dealing with, right?
I would say that the natural would be to go away from activity. But sometimes, you got to go where you need to go, and that's usually the case. Like when people
Yeah.
see them there, they just see them doing something else. It's pretty rare that you know you're getting stalked.
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
to me personally, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't, I don't take Bigfoot, Sasquatch, whatever you want to call it. I don't take them as like these savage, like bloodthirsty beings. Like, I think they're more timid than people give them any credit for. I think if they like, it's almost like I'm not going to say they're more afraid of us than we are of them, but I'm not saying that either. It seems to me
No,
like
but they
if they
are
were to
pretty
see
smart.
us, well, that's the thing. Like they're smart enough to know, like, hey, that thing over there, that human being, that fucking like, they're not in
That's
my
bad.
best interest. Yeah,
Nope.
that's bad. They are going
100%.
to cause me harm and my family, so I'm going to get out of there.
Yeah.
One thing I'm curious about is like, why do you think that nobody ever finds bones, like physical remains? Do you think that they're smart enough to uh, do away with their because if they're intelligent beings, they would probably have some sort of a ritual for their,
Yeah.
you know,
I
like I don't know.
my I honestly, if I got into my belief on what their origins are, then this show would take a whole longer turn. So we're not going to
Sure.
go there. But yeah, I
Okay. Yeah.
absolutely believe that they had that ability and capability. They did stuff like
Sure.
that. They were
Yeah.
very much more organized than you think. I've come
Yeah.
across a lot of information. A lot of the native indigenous tribes around here looked at these things as another tribe.
Right. Yeah.
Like 100%. I have that from books. It's written fact, it's a
Yeah.
part of history. And then it came from what I understand, a Penobscot writer,
Oh no shit. Okay.
so I trust the source.
For sure.
So
It does make sense to me that, like you said, as intelligent creatures, they
yeah.
would have, like, in anything. I mean, even wild, like, so I'm trying to think, like elephants will actually go back to where their other family members have passed away, and things like this. Like they're intelligent enough to know
They
where these things
mourn.
happen and grieve. They mourn, they grieve. Yeah. So an even higher intelligence, like human based species, is absolutely going to have a ritualistic, maybe burial grounds where they're going to make it so like no one's going to find them because it's sacred to them. You know,
And it's
it seems to
also
me like it's plausible anyway.
it's they're hiding stuff, and I don't believe that they're intentionally hiding it. I think they
No, I
do
don't
it
think
you do
intentionally.
it just like we do. It's a
Yeah,
respect, it's a part
ritualistically,
of the
right? Yeah.
process. You're returning it to the earth.
Yeah.
um, Now that being said, when the bones that they are buried, I mean, they will dissolve over time. But the other
Sure.
thing a lot of people don't realize is porcupines love bone, and they will
Oh,
eat
really?
that and antlers, any type of stuff. That's why you don't find a lot of that stuff. You do find it, but like rodents and stuff, they love that. They munch that stuff right up.
Well, that
So
makes sense too.
there's a natural disposal service going on that people don't even realize.
Well,
And
I mean, that's brilliant because I never would have thought of that, but it's so
yeah,
true. Like the
there you
forest
go.
and the things that live in it and that, ecological whole thing, like they're all going to take care of each other in a coexisting way. So that checks
Yeah.
out. That's cool. I never thought of it that way. No shit. Huh. Sweet. That's cool. Thanks.
That is
Welcome.
cool. Um, Out of curiosity, some people call it Bigfoot, some people call them Sasquatch. What's the difference between the two? Does it have to do with like regional variations of the area within Maine, or is that like different
Mostly
sections of
personal
Maine?
choice. I think
Okay.
Bigfoot's gotten a goofy label attached to it. And I don't know what technically these things are, but Bigfoot, everyone pictures the big goofy Harry and the Hendersons. While I don't
Mhm.
think they're mean and aggressive, I think just like us, there's good and bad. And
Yeah, we talked
they,
about that. That's right. Yeah.
yeah, these things may not intend to hurt you, but they have the full capability of hurting you.
Hmm.
Mm.
I don't believe that there are any of them out there hunting people. I mean, you hear some crazy bullshit stories and theories, and that's mostly for people to get clicks.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah.
I've been to some I've been to some hairy places, and I didn't even mean that as a bad joke.
Yeah.
But
Down Henderson Lane.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I just yeah, I don't know. Again, like I said, there's so many weird things that actually happen in this area that you don't need to make shit up. You know,
Well, right.
you do have to get off your goddamn phone or computer and not sit on your ass all the time, however. And that's where we get a lot of the armchair experts, and you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
they
Yep.
are fun to deal with. They'll tell me about a misspelling, but they don't know shit about anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. You forgot the comma or the apostrophe. It's like, shut up. You know?
Fuck yourself.
Yeah.
That's why I don't
Exactly.
deal with
Oh,
people a lot. Like I even team stuff. Like
yeah.
I deal with the official stuff, but public stuff, I'm like the dude in the corner if I can help it. 'Cause I do and will give my opinion, and sometimes it's colorful, but it's
Well, it's
always how
honest,
I
you know?
feel, man. Yeah, it's just the way it is.
And
I
I've
don't
been
know.
saying this forever. Everybody wants the truth until you give it to them, and then you're an asshole, you
Oh,
know?
100%. 100%. And that's okay. If that's what makes me an asshole, then so be it.
Yeah, I mean, at least
You
you're
know,
you're being authentic and telling the truth at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And I've
yeah.
never thought you were an asshole, so that's you know.
No, I can be just like anybody, but I, I just, life's too short to get into anger and all that crap.
Yeah,
I've gotten to the point in life where I just want to do what makes me happy. And that's pretty much what I do. I spend a lot of time out in the woods. I spend as much time as I can, family wise, but everyone's busy.
yeah, it's true.
So the fort and in the woods keep me busy. And
Hmm.
I, I don't know. To get back to that question, the Sasquatch thing, that's just a personal preference for me, other than it doesn't sound quite as goofy. Not that there's anything
Sure.
wrong with it, because I'll get all kinds of messages about this, but
Yeah.
I don't think I don't look at any of it as a big goofy joke. I mean,
No. Yeah.
well, it's usually I used to get teased a lot, and then they realized I don't give a shit. Um,
Yeah.
it's not going to hurt my feelings, because again, I've been out there and I've experienced things, and I'm not selling anyone any bullshit.
Mhm.
I can
Right.
tell you what I experienced, and I can take you for the most part where I experienced it. Whether you experience it is not up to me. You know,
Well, yeah. Yep. And that's a
uh,
great point.
yeah, and I mean, as well as I do, the fort definitely haunted. There's nights that it's crickets. Like,
Oh yeah.
they just don't want to
Absolutely.
play.
Yep. Man, I definitely had those nights at the. I mean, all of us. I mean, we've had public investigations where it's like pulling fucking teeth, and we try to talk to them, but it's like it's not a dog and or what is it? Dog and pony show is what they call it, where it's like
Right.
you can't just tell them to do something and they'll do it. They all have their own free will.
Yeah,
So
you're
if
not
you're
going
in
to do
Mike's
anything
room and
until
Mike
you.
decides he doesn't want to say anything, he's not gonna.
No.
But I've
And,
also had
and
moments, and I know you have too, where Mike has been like rude.
oh,
Like,
100%.
oh
Mike's
man,
a funny, funny person. I don't even know it's a funny spirit, a funny energy.
he
Uh,
is. He is a funny entity. Yeah, absolutely.
he really is. Some people he really doesn't care for, and boy, if you're a female, he cares for you a lot. Like,
Yeah.
I personally don't have any luck down in that spot. Like, I know you and I have been down there a couple times with
Yep.
private tours and shit. And
Yep.
while stuff has happened, like, I never take public tours down there because I
Right.
get nothing.
Yeah.
Mike doesn't
Amanda
interact
does.
with me at all. And when he does, it's bad words. And maybe that's just because he speaks my language. I don't know.
Yeah. He's like, you and I, we get each other.
Yeah. Yeah. King of bad choices.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so because like him and Amanda, Mike and Amanda, and Mike,
Yep.
for people who are listening, Mike is a spirit that is at the fort who had blown himself up years ago. That was just his personality. Someone told him, hey, you probably shouldn't be smoking a cigar around the powder kegs. And he did not want to listen. And thusly now he is there a lot.
Yeah. And
Um,
that's a fact that can be confirmed.
yeah.
There's actually an article the Prospect Historical Society put out a few years ago, and I've shared it on our 207 page. That's a legit story, man.
Yep.
While they don't give the exact name Mike, uh, they just describe him as a worker.
Right.
And honestly, I really don't know where we got the name Mike. It's a good
Yeah, I was
question
gonna,
for Amanda, though.
I'm gonna, yeah, I think, so would you like to tell everybody what's going on the 30th?
Oh, yeah. Actually, we have our first official ghost hunt of the season at Fort Knox. Um,
Ooh.
yeah, and actually, the last time I heard, we had only 2 tickets left, so it's
Oh,
damn near a
shit.
sellout. Yeah,
That's
so
awesome. I love it.
that's kind of cool.
I'm looking forward to that, man. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm anxious because we honestly this year we didn't do. Usually, we try to do a team night where it's just us and we get in there and kind of open things up. And I mean, I've been down a few times individually or with other people, and but this will be the first real investigation of the year. So,
Fine.
if all goes according to plan, should be pretty active.
I'm hoping so.
But again, don't ever guarantee it. It's like
Well, no.
guaranteeing someone they're gonna see a moose. Ain't gonna
Yeah.
happen.
In the 41 years I've lived in Maine, I've seen one fucking moose.
I've seen a bunch, but they're not easy,
No,
And
no.
it's like anything. You say you're gonna go show me a moose, and I'm gonna giggle my ass off, and we're going for a ride. Because 9 times out of 10, there is not going to be one there. It's like
Right.
anything. You see them by chance. I mean, certain times of the year, you can get their attention, but you know.
Sure. Yeah, the one time I ever saw one, it was literally outside of a shop that I go to down the road, and it was a 2-year-old male just eating someone's garden. It was like springtime ish. It was still snow on the ground. He was picking through the snow trying to eat someone's like old cabbages or something. Like I don't know. He
Yeah.
was just chilling, and they relocated him and all. But I was like, oh my god, like they do exist. I found one. Like it was crazy. But
No,
again,
yeah,
very very rare.
they're around.
They
People
are.
think they're more well, actually we do have a lot of them. It's just they live where we don't.
Yeah.
Smart.
They're actually my favorite creatures. Some of them, some of my favorite creatures. I like mooses.
They are.
They're impressive animals.
Yeah. And
Their
fucking big.
size. Yeah, we've had one years ago, had one rub itself against the side of our camp, and it felt like the camp was
Oh,
going to get knocked right off the blocks.
oh
And it
man.
just had an itch on its ass. Like you look out, and it was literally just rubbing its butt on the corner of the camp.
Oh man.
And then it moved on. But that was talk about a terrifying sound right there. Had we not looked out and realized what it was,
No
Jesus
joke.
Christ, that would have been Sasquatch for sure.
Yeah, well, yeah. And I wonder
It
how
had
many
to be.
things misinterpret as that,
Oh
Makes it
Jesus, so many,
yeah,
so many.
right.
So,
But on the flip side, a lot of people will hear a squirrel, and it's pretty sure they're positive a Sasquatch is coming through the woods. So misidentification goes both ways.
Sure.
Some people are just dead set that they experience Bigfoot or Sasquatch at every turn, and that's when I usually immediately call the bullshit. But
Yep.
I don't know. That's why I don't generally speak out in public a ton. So here's a funny thing. In July, I've been asked to speak at the International Cryptozoology uh, membership dinner
That's awesome, dude.
banquet. Yeah, which is I had to think about it for like 3.5 seconds. And obviously said yes.
Of course,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, and it's pretty slick. Obviously, the one catch is you've got to be a member to get in. So
Okay. Okay.
if you want to see me make an ass of myself again, probably.
Nah, you're
Uh,
gonna do good.
I really don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna talk about why I do what I do and what. And honestly, the funniest thing about it is the funniest thing about Lauren Coleman, who's the International Cryptozoology Museum. He
Sure,
being from Maine and doing what we do, I get asked two things all the time. A, do I know Lauren Coleman? And do I know Stephen King? Those are the two people
yeah.
because they they think that we're all best friends up here. You know, they're from Maine. We've got to hang out. And
Wait a minute, you're not friends with Stephen King?
right. No, you know what though? I played asteroids with him when I was a little kid at a night owl store. No
No
shit,
way.
100% true story. Like I went with my dad. It was over on Hammond Street
No
visiting my
shit.
grandfather, and we walked over and my dad was getting something, and I was over there. I remember this weird distinctly, you know. I remember weird memories from childhood, but I do remember this one because this particular game, every time I go in, I never played it, but I would stand there and I'd do all the, you know, do all the controls while my parent or whatever was doing what they were doing. Well, this particular day, this big tall dude, and at that age, I don't know how old I was, everyone was tall, but he's like, "Do you want to play?" Okay. So he put money in and we played doubles. Like, and my dad came over and he's laughing and, you know, they're kind of chit chatting back and forth. I had no clue. And after we left and he left, he asked me if I knew who that was. No. And he
Yeah, all
said the
right.
name. And at that time, I already knew who he was by name.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know. Obviously, as I've gotten older, it's been more like, holy shit, that's so cool.
Yeah, right?
You
I mean,
know?
that's a crazy cool experience. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, it really was. So yeah, that's my brush with fame with him. I've seen him at other events throughout the years in the area, but he's a very private guy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I that's one thing about him. And I wish everybody would is when because he's not even he doesn't live around here anymore. That's the other thing people don't
Right, yeah.
realize.
Yeah.
But just respect his privacy, man. People get so rude about shit, you know. It's like I
Yeah.
get it, you're a fan, but don't be an asshole.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
true. I mean, I think that could be said for like any famous person. I mean, just let them be, let them do their thing.
yeah, no
They're
shit.
people just like anybody else.
Oh, 100%, 100. And here's the funny thing: like I've been riding down the street before in Bangor and seen him just walking down the street exercising, like, and he'll wear like a bright orange winter hunting hat and a Bangor High School Letterman's jacket. And that's what he wears. He just would go out for walks around the area, and most people wouldn't mess with him. You wouldn't even know who he was. Honestly, you look at him, he kind of looks like a goofy guy walking around with, you know, Bangor garb and a hunting hat. But so yeah, I mean, everyone in this area has had a brush with Stephen King. Now we're going to be brushing elbows with Lauren Coleman. So how
Even
cool is
that's
that?
cool. Is it? Wicked cool, man. And congratulations on that, by the way.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. So I'll keep you posted. We're I usually make things interesting one way or another.
Oh,
Oh, there it
It is
goes.
losing.
there we go. We got her back.
Um, do you think that, I mean, I believe that all creatures have different levels of intelligence.
Mhm.
With Sasquatch, do you feel that it has, I'm not even sure what term to call it by outside of Sasquatch, but
Mhm.
do you believe that Sasquatch has a higher form of intelligence than perhaps humans have?
I don't think it's a higher form. And again, just my opinion. I
Yeah, of
don't
course.
know. I mean,
Mhm.
uh, but no, I don't think they're a higher form of intelligence. I think they're at least comparable because they've existed pretty much right alongside of us. You know, while they're seen once in a while, they've managed to stay pretty well hidden, and they really have. I mean, I can't tell you how many are out there. I don't even know. I mean, it could be, you know, one of these years could be it. That could, you know, they could be that low in the numbers. While I don't think so,
Mhm.
because there's still sightings all over, and it's not the
Right.
same one. There's more than one,
Hmm.
a lot more. But,
That makes
and
sense.
that's the other thing, though, that a lot of people don't realize when they see one that there's usually a couple more hanging around. they do usually from what I've experienced and talked to similar people who have had similar experiences, that they do travel in family packs. Like, just again, the indigenous used to look at them like another tribe. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. That's
yeah,
right.
I'm telling you, I'll bring the paperwork so you can see it, Chris. And I'm pretty sure I had already told you about it a little bit, but these things are crazy. I mean, I got the directions and the like the location of these their hunting lands. Like,
Right. Yeah.
it's mapped out from what river to like up to Mount Katahdin, which was it was their hunting ground. Like,
Right.
that's huge, because each tribe or group had their own area. And that, so I mean, it's, again, it's real stuff that was taking place.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I lean towards, I don't think these things are animals at all. That's why no one ever finds anything, because they're all looking for a big goddamn monkey, you
Well,
know,
yeah. I mean,
and that's
that's
just not what it is, and the
right.
DNA, it keeps coming back as human,
Right.
because maybe they're, you know, I don't know. I
That
I
don't
mean,
have
makes
the answers, but
it is
things
fascinating.
fit together way too tightly not to form some of the opinions I have.
Right.
But again, they're all just opinions, and opinions are like assholes. We all
Right.
have one, and most of them stink. So,
I mean,
yeah.
it makes sense to me because everything that I've heard specifically about Sasquatch always made me feel like they weren't necessarily, animals. I felt like, but I've never seen Sasquatch. I've not never gone on a Sasquatch, hunt or an investigation or any of that.
Well, I know
Um,
a guy, so just let me know.
okay, yeah,
Right.
that'd be awesome. I mean, I believe in respecting all creatures and
Yep.
and not being disrespectful, especially on their their own land and whatnot. But
Yeah.
I I was curious about hearing your opinion on that because I was wondering if it was maybe similar to what I was thinking, and it sounds like it is. It's interesting. It's cool.
Yeah. And I know this is also speculation too, because like it's hard to say one way or the other where yes it is or no it isn't. But if you had to put a bet on it, would you say that they're more like omnivores, herbivores, meat eaters? You know what I mean? Like where would you kind of, if you had to guess, you know what I'm saying? Like what would you think that their diet would consist of? I know it's an odd
Well,
question, I know, but
well, I mean, ultimately, it's going to come down to what's available. I mean,
sure. Yeah.
as I don't know how they hunt. I don't know how they obtain all the meat. Although, I mean, I've heard reports of hunters, they'll drop a deer, see it go down, and then get up there and it's gone. Like,
Oh,
and
yeah.
there's tracks, or they've sometimes seen them being carried away. So they will steal your dinner. So,
Well, and they are, I mean, if the mass is consistent with how big they are, then
yeah,
it probably wouldn't take much for them to haul a deer off. You know what I mean? So that makes
no.
sense. Yeah.
And that's the other thing. Some of the proportions I hear people report these things at, that's just a big red flag for me. While they are
Sure.
bigger than average, I guess, for like a human. Uh, I don't think they're like, people start talking about the, you know, 12, 15 foot, like ridiculous, or we found a 30-inch print, or it's like, Jesus, you're getting into like astronomical sizes. And it's like, at some point, you've got to look at it realistically. And,
Yeah.
and I call bullshit on some of those like that. But that's why people have that goofy feeling about it, because people put these stupid friggin' their own ideas on it. And that's just
Right.
how it
Yeah.
becomes. And
Well, at 15 feet, I mean, that's
yeah.
fucking huge. That's absurd,
Well,
right?
but it's this I I can't wrap my head around it. Now, I've dealt with plenty of shit I can't wrap my head around, but
Sure, sure.
that
Mhm.
that's just never made sense to me. And if I change my opinion, I'll let you know. But I don't think that we're dealing with anything that big. I think it's very hard to judge the size of something,
Mhm.
especially without scale. You see something walking
That's
through a
true.
field, you can't tell me it was 10 or 12 feet tall. There's no way to scale to judge it. Well, I mean, you can have an opinion on what you thought it was, but nine
Sure.
times out of 10, people don't remember right, and their memory, it
Well,
was
yeah.
huge, biggest thing ever. Uh,
Well, yeah. It's
and
interesting you say that because like recall during a high stress moment is
mm,
way different than what actually took place. Case in
yeah,
point, when someone gets robbed and if there's a gun pointed in their face, they're gonna say, "What did the person look like?" I don't know. But if you ask them to describe the gun, they'd probably tell you verbatim what it looked like. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
100%.
because their focus is solely on that, like, and everything else is just a blurred thing because it's so high stress. Now, I would imagine if you're in a field and you see a humanoid being walking across the field and it terrifies the shit out of you, you're gonna have tunnel vision to some degree because you're scared and you're on
Oh,
high alert.
100%. I've
You know?
experienced that. But that's one of
Yeah.
those things that I know for a fact that
Right.
that terror and it no shit is like
Yeah.
I don't care if I look for these things or not. When again, when you get close to something, there's still a lot of wild there. While I don't think they're animal, I think they are very animalistic.
Yeah. I mean, it's like some of those uncontacted Amazonian tribes. They're
100%.
absolutely human beings, but like if you tread in their territory, you get too close after they've
Yeah,
warned you, then you're not going to be around too much longer. You
yeah,
know?
and they will protect their
Yeah, protect
like
what's
when
sacred
they
to them, right?
yeah, I don't think they're hunting people. Like I say,
No, no,
but
no.
I think like anything, if you keep pushing, they're gonna push back. So I always tread lightly, like
Hmm.
just respect. That's all.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't
straight
have
up.
to go out and start hugging trees or any of that shit, but just
Right.
don't, you know. I don't know. I love these jackasses that get all dressed in camouflage and put goofy fucking hats on, and
Yeah.
now they're a Bigfoot researcher. It's like, holy shit, dude. Like,
Well, do you really think they're going to hide from something that like knows what the hell they got going on? Any little nuance of a difference in their territory, they're going to pick up on. You
hey,
know?
that camouflage is not working, Goofy. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's entertaining, though. Every few years, we get a new group of experts. And you know how I know they're not? They tell you they're experts.
Right.
Like, no shit. Jeff has contacted me a few times with the convention and, hey, man, I got this person and they're famous. I'm like, who the fuck is that, man? Who told you that? They did. I don't know who the hell that is.
Right.
I mean, and I'm not saying I'm any better than anyone else. I've just been doing this. I've been doing this longer than some of my kids are alive. I mean,
Well, right. I
this
mean,
is this is no shit. This is and it's it's caused great troubles in my life. Trust me. Uh, but it's a part of my life in every way.
absolutely.
It used to be just Sasquatch. Now it's the ghosts. It's Sasquatch. Matter of fact, I in the summertime it sucks for me because it doesn't suck, but I'm busy at it, but I'm torn. I want to be out in the woods, but I want to be at the fort. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a, it's a
Again,
delicate balance, but I make it work.
it sure is. Well, I tell you what, I'm looking forward to. It would be Saturday, right? It's the 30th.
Yeah, it's this Saturday. It should be good. We're gonna mix up our opening. We're gonna do stuff in the visitor center now.
Oh no, shit.
Yeah, or in the
That's cool.
amphitheater. We're just that's how we used to do it back in the day.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we'll walk in as a group. I mean, we'll set up and do everything, then we'll come out and deal. But that way, I mean, we have our new merch. Actually, look,
I was gonna
I'm
say,
wearing a
yeah.
new shirt. Uh,
That's awesome.
yeah, so they're going to be selling that. They have t-shirts, they have hats and sweatshirts that they're going to be selling in the gift center at the visitor center at the fort. And honestly, actually, I think they bought some like EMFs and some
Oh, no
pretty
shit.
basic stuff to sell
That's
if
a smart
people
idea.
wanted to pick up some inexpensive equipment while they're at the fort. I mean, but I will say we'll pretty much let you use within reason anything we have. I mean, as
Right.
long as you respect our sometimes very expensive property.
Yeah, yeah. So the gallery will
Awesome. That
be at
sounds
the
like fun.
amphitheater. You got to come up, Raven. That'd be great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anytime. Absolutely. And that's the other thing, man. We're doing this. We meet some of the coolest people, like because everybody wants to come to the fort, and and I get it. I know why, but that puts us in a great position. So, because I've met some people that it's like, Jesus Christ, no shit, huh? You know.
Yeah.
But then I've met a lot of clowns too. So,
Yeah. Yeah. We'll talk about that on Saturday.
oh Jesus, yeah, we got lots
Yeah.
to catch up on.
Yeah. Sure do.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for coming on our show today. Chris, did you have any final questions?
Um, I guess one last thing would be for anybody who is, interested in the fort or coming to. What would be the best way to find that out? How to get there? How to be involved?
Well, honestly, the Friends of Fort Knox Facebook group
Hmm.
would probably be the fastest way. There's a few different Fort Knox Facebook pages, but I know for a fact that the Friends of Fort Knox page gets monitored and the emails
Perfect.
get checked.
Good deal.
But that would be the easiest way. I mean, and that's the thing. People, you're so lucky you do that stuff at the fort and you can do this. And I am lucky. I have the keys to Fort Knox. I have every key. There's not a door I can't get through. But I earn that because I
Right.
don't just do the ghost stuff. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
help with other stuff. I do the not so fun stuff. We've cleaned bathrooms before, not my favorite thing to do. Um, but I was down there for the spring cleanup, but that's how you get your foot in the door. And actually we have a new team member coming on this year
Oh,
who
shit.
came in just like that. Like he volunteered and he was brought to my attention by Dean, the director of Fort Knox. And so we actually have two teammates that are coming this year that are both have been volunteers and have decided and I know them both, and you do too, I think. So but they're both good people, and that's how you get in. That's how you do. Because I mean, people are like, even with the 207 thing, it's not just all that. I mean, we do the ghost hunts, and that's so amazing. We can ghost hunt there, investigate anytime we want. But you got to put in the other stuff, and it's so easy. If you just showed up, you could. I mean, I don't know. Dean, everybody at the fort, they're great people. And if you just show that you know, you're willing to give a shit and do a little bit of something, like, it's a way to get the keys to the kingdom. It takes a few years, but it can be done.
Right.
That to me, that's how you do it. And there's no excuse, no reason, or unless you become an employee at Fort Knox. I mean, everything we do is volunteer, 100%.
Right.
So
Yep. Yep.
we make no money on this. All right, I'll stop babbling. I apologize.
No, you're good, man.
No,
You're good. And I love it. And you're right.
We
You're all
shut you
the
off 20 minutes ago anyway.
well, yeah, yeah. No one can hear you, Chris.
Right.
No, man, truly though, thank you for coming on. Like this has been awesome. I'm glad
No,
to
thanks for having me. I've had fun. This is cool. Always
this is
enjoy
cool.
talking to you.
Fuck yeah.
really appreciate it because I think that there are a lot of new people that are also coming onto the scene, not just people that, have their viewpoints and stuff,
Hmm.
but like there's a lot, I'm coming from, for example, I was born and raised in San Diego, California. And so when it comes to the East Coast, I've only been here for about 4 years,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
living wise,
Mhm.
and there's so much I haven't seen. And so being able to hear from someone who is experienced in those areas and
Yeah.
does have knowledge, gives me hope for the newer generations that are also coming in and wanting to learn more about this as well.
Hmm.
It's important. We're actually doing kids tours this year for the first
Right.
time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Actually, and
wow.
Chris and I were part of the very first one we did for a couple of years ago. My kids belong to a YMCA group out of the Old Town YMCA, and we brought a crew of them down and took them ghost hunting one night, and everybody was kind of leery, like, "What the hell are you doing? Like, are you stupid?" And
Yeah.
we had a bunch of 12 and 13-year-olds, and they were awesome.
They were.
They were great. And last winter I was approached by Dean, and he's like, because of that experience, and he was so impressed, he's like, "What do you think about doing, a kids investigation, like focus more on the kids while they have to be accompanied by a parent? It's very much going to be a kids show." But that's important to me to kind of plant the seed. Uh, we both, Chris and I both bring our kids.
Yep.
I know for a fact we're planting seeds, and we're planting them deep because they're gaining the same appreciation we have. Uh,
Absolutely.
and they're working hard. These kids, they come there and they work their asses off. They work harder than
Yeah.
some of our teammates.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, and I think
Harder
it's
than
great, like you
me.
said, planting the seeds of that it's not allowing them to like lose the faith and the magic that is the paranormal and the unseen. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
able to see it and feel it and experience it themselves. So it's like, I remember when I was like 14 years old, if somebody was talking about ghosts and stuff, I'd be intrigued by it, but I wouldn't necessarily
Yeah.
have bought into
Oh
it.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But when you see it and you experience it, you're like, oh my God, like it
Yeah.
brings the magic back. And I think that giving these kids the magic that they know exists and they
Mhm.
want to exist, like to allow
Yeah.
them to still have that, keep the light in their eyes. I don't know.
100%. Let them be kids while they still can.
Yeah, fucking
Yeah.
A. Yeah.
It gets hard, gets tough quick enough. So, but yeah, we're gonna try it. I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna work out. It could flop, but
Hey,
we're
fingers
gonna
crossed, right?
try.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
no,
girls
no
would
harm
be
in
all
trying.
over it.
Yeah.
Both
Right.
of my girls would be excited to know that there was something like that when they come
Yeah,
out here. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Anytime you want to bring them, just say the word.
Thank you.
You know a guy. He's right
That's
below
right.
you.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Chris. I hope you have an amazing rest of your night.
Yeah, you too, man. Thanks
And
for
yeah,
having me.
absolutely. Thank you, man. And we will catch you Saturday. I'll catch you Saturday
Yep,
anyway.
absolutely,
So,
my friend.
all right,
Thank
brother.
you so
Have a good
much.
one.
Take it easy, bud.
I
Well,
really
that was
like
awesome.
him.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
He's
was
cool
cool.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I love his no nonsense approach to, especially like, with Bigfoot and Sasquatch, it's hard because there's a lot of it's like with anything, there's woo woo around everything. And I think that like, I really appreciate and just enjoy talking to people that take the woo woo out of any subject, whether it's Bigfoot, aliens, paranormal, mediumship, whatever it is. I really like people's grounded approach in a lot of this stuff. And honestly, I think a lot of that is lacking in certain areas. And I just think he brings it in a truthful and logical way. So I really appreciate him for that.
100% agree with that. So next week we have another special guest. We will be here again Monday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And with that being said, have a great night, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Peace out.